All right, well, peace, peace, peace. I just want to come back with a quick video, man. Actually, yeah, shout out to first and foremost, hopefully the Most High in your house, shouts blessing your day. Um, yeah, man, this is something. Actually, I had a conversation with this with the a while back with somebody, and it's something I just noticed within my life, like this, like not the whole gender or conversation. It's just an observation, man, because you know what it is too. I mean, because don't get it twisted. Like Isaiah 3 goes into how the proud, how the how the young will be proud against the ancient, pretty much. But I noticed this in my lifetime. I'm pretty sure your brothers and even sisters, for that matter, notice as well. Sisters as well, because I don't know, it's more of a different thing, different. Like they would probably could speak because they're women, but they notice it. But I notice it as brother, like this as far as men. Like I think honestly, like even if it's not I think we talked about this before, right? Even if it's like not even because like we always go into there's a difference between the elders and OGs. Elders, especially in the word, like in the word wise is going to teach you about the faith in the Most High, in Yahushua, and like wisdom, knowledge, understanding how to carry yourself, like righteousness, being a man, being honor, being honorable, integral, like upstanding, even outside the word as well. But also too the obedience of his the Most High Yahshua's instruction, the law, statutes, commandments, like and how to live by it. Honestly, that's what the elder's going to do. He's going to model that. Like and same even with the like with a sister. They Titus goes into those type of things of how to how the age women are supposed to teach younger women. But honestly, this kind of goes into whole generational warfare again too, like as well. But this is something I noticed as well. Um, but even outside the word, like the difference between elders, the elders going to teach you how to be, like a man of integrity, honor, respect, about you being about your word, being an example. And but even but OGs pretty much can tell you what not to do, man. But I noticed this throughout my lifetime, how honestly like more like more men, or even if it's not like even if it's OG, or even if it's not, because don't get it twisted, like Job 32 says, and a bunch of other scriptures says this, and how the agent is always wise. And there's a lot of old fools out here. There's a lot of men and women. There's a lot of older people that just like that old fools out here, just like the whack 100 types. He immediately pops in my mind when I think of that scripture in Job 32:8. But that, but also, I noticed this as well. Back to the point, like there, even if it's not the most, like even it might not be the most tactful or like no skillful or the wisest man, like but no, a younger man is still inclined to listen to, you know, a older man. I just noticed that, but women not so much, because I think I was actually talking about this with the sister I was talking to last a while back, and she said, "Yeah, I think because it's like, and she was an older sister. Like it's more women. They'll think they're trying to like they're more trying to compete, and they're more take like as an insult when like no get twisted. Because I have seen women, this not all the time, but I have seen older women give younger women advice, especially like last year at the school I was working at. Like it was an upperclassman, but she gave the little. It was a situation she gave the younger the middle school girls advice on the situation. So that happens, but it's not rare. I think it more of like because more women, they're more in competition. I mean, the men that happens as well. Like older men compete against younger men, but I just see it's more a lot of times with women. Not saying that doesn't happen, because like the post we shared a while back, like a few weeks ago too, is like I noticed this too. A lot of older people just don't want to be like older anymore. It's kind of like decided as socially engineered to people, like to be like children want to be young forever. Like, but what did Paul say? When I was a child, put away childish things. Like not being just a small child, just even like just embrace your like be your age pretty much, man. But that's neither here nor there. But I noticed a lot of times too, younger older women, like younger women don't really want to listen to older women, because one, it's like one, if you're not being a model, the example, like for the generations, they're not gonna really listen to you. Because listen, even as much as like we talk about this current generation, the young, like even my generation to a degree, even the ones before that dropped the ball a little bit, even though they still did great things, but still, but that's neither here nor there. But I just noticed that too. A lot of like older older women, like a lot of women just won't really listen to like older women. Older women are like don't really. Older women have. I'm pretty sure older women have tried to give younger women, advice on certain things, but it's like more of they're not like really. It's not a really inclined thing to listen to because listen to because you know what, because it's not really like because don't get it twisted. That's what that Titus is about, man. Let the aged woman tell younger women to marry and how to be an actual wife. So that's just is what it is. But I just want to get into the story as a backdrop because I just saw this clip of T-Boss from the legendary group TLC and the late Aretha Franklin, and how she was kind of competing against then we're gonna put up a clip of Fantasia as well. How she was like kind of competing against TLC in the prime in their heyday when they were just out I'm not sure if it was the first album or second album, but it's just I found this interesting as well because I think honestly like more men are younger men are inclined to listen to older men, but women I don't think that's the case as much. Not saying it doesn't happen, but I'm just gonna get this clip and just look at it.
She was the Rhythm and Blues Foundation Pioneer Awards, and even said to the audience, "You think she looks good? I used to look like that, but way better."
Yeah, she said that. So based on this interaction.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much. I wanted the whole clip, but this is kind of more of a commentary on the clip. But I could pull up the Fantasia clip, but it's crazy because after this clip, after I just was scrolling on the internet, I just seen it. But see, this is kind of the point I'm making. I just seen a clip of Cameron saying how Gerald Levert when he was because Cameron got a song called "Get in Ohio" and he lived in Ohio at the time, and Cameron was actually moving he was actually selling drugs. He was actually moving weight in there. But he said Gerald Levert one time wanted to reach out to him and reached out to him people that knew Cameron, and I think he was living at Cleveland at the time, and he had a conversation with him. He's like, "Yo, Cam, I'm really you kind of got to slow down, or what you're doing," because kind of Gerald Levert had an idea of what he was doing. He said, "Yo, your name is kind of coming up here and here," and Cameron kind of stopped selling drugs after the clip. I saw, hey, he was on the Gillian Wallow podcast, $1 million worth of game. So yeah, man, because that's just an example of more I think men are just I don't know, it's just a nature thing or more inclined to for the most part to listen to older men rather than and women. Not so much not really because that's just not really the thing because a lot of times too a lot of these older women are competing against younger women as well and so even happens with men as well, but I think more it's because it's like that even that lack of even because a lot of brothers or in the world we're out the word it doesn't matter, just a lot of our men or a lot of our brothers even other nations as well, but I'm talking about our people in general. They're looking for that when they don't have that father there. They're looking for that that male figure that to guide and direct and instruct them. They're always seeking instruction, man. Because there's a lot of brothers out here, a lot of younger men that's out here, man, that's looking for that instruction, man. It's best to do it, and that's why I always say that we gotta watch our conduct, man. I had to watch my conduct because the younger generation is watching from from adolescent to damn near younger adults, adult ages, man, young 20s and young teens and young adults, man. So you gotta I'm still relatively young as well, but I'm just saying I'm actually I'm considered I get how much I get OG and old head, I'm not even that old, so but still it just is what it is with that. So I'm just thought this was really interesting, but I'm gonna pull up the Fantasia clip now. All right, so now we on the Fantasia clip, man, and I might pull up the Cameron clip, but yeah, man, I just want to go into this, man, because a lot of older women are compete against younger women, man. It's that's just it is what it is. I just want to get into this clip. I might pull up the Cameron one.
She walks in the room and I started crying. I idol now.
And that's just why, the shout out to the Brother Chronicles of Judah, and that's why, they always say never meet your heroes. It's really, and never meet your quote. Well, we're not supposed to have idols and things of that nature. That's what Ezekiel says, get your idols out your heart. But I know what they kind of it's insinuate here, but yeah, man, because it's not fair to that person to be themselves. Because in your mind, you envision with this person what you want them to be. No, let that person be what they're going to be. That's why even Chameleon, the rapper Chameleon, he told a story about him meeting Michael Jordan. He was very disappointed in what he got, but that's why you don't do that. Or even if you do, just say, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" appreciate what you do and what you're something like that, and they'll respect that more honestly. But even that, even if they're still rude or disrespectful, that's just on them. That's who they are. But when you don't get that whole like fan spirit and things of that nature, that's really can be conducive and dangerous. But like but Fantasia, how I like how she took it though. Like even with this, but also too, even T-Boz as well, because like T-Boz, if you watch the clip, T-Boz like said after Aretha Franklin said what she said about her, she had this look on her face, but she still but by the time like Aretha said that, she was a little older, she was a little bit bigger, and plus it's like she still had that. See, that's that generation. Okay, that was the generation. Okay, this is still an older person, so I'm not gonna like get out of the line. Even though still they disrespected me, like I'm still not gonna get out of line, because you could respectfully like correct them, because listen, it's a balance thing, because two things can be true, because don't get it twisted, because the scriptures do say, listen, rebuke not an elder, but treat him as a father, things like that. So yeah, but at the same time as well, scriptures like Ecclesiastes Sirach says, be not ashamed to inform the age, the unwise of the age, pretty much. Don't be ashamed to inform them. So it's a balanced type of deal. So, but I do like how Fantasia handled this. But but yeah, man, this goes into how a lot of times too, women, older women are women aren't inclined to take and receive that advice. Give that advice older, because they're still competing, and take that advice because the younger women still think like, oh, I'm in my prime, I'm this and this and that, and it is what it is out here in the streets or whatever. But yeah.
5 years old. And she walks around the room so gracefully, and she gets to me, and she says, you can sing, but I'm the bitch around here.
Mm-hmm. You see that?
Yeah, she caught me off guard, and I said, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm. So you see that? Yeah. So, yeah, but I like how Fantasia handled that though. But yeah, man, that's just it is what it is. And this is a problem too, like with our people as well. This people in general, no matter what nation, but our people, because it's the whole generational warfare type of thing, man. The gender war. It's like the Brother Chronicles used to say, man, avoid kind of circular talk, because don't get twisted. I do talk about of course racial dynamics, things of that nature, but a lot of the times too, that's just circular talk. Also circular talk a lot of times, but also the gender war thing, and sometimes the generational warfare thing. It could be circular talk, because it's always things on both sides, and it is what it is. But yeah, I'm just see about this Cameron clip.
That's kind of why I stopped doing it, because it was a cop in Columbus, and he was a fan. He was cool. He's like, yo, John Levert want to speak to him. I'm like, John Levert, the singer? He's like, yeah, John Levert, the singer. I'm like,
a cop came and told you this.
yeah, and I'm like, well, for what? Like, all right, cool. He's like, yeah, he lives in Cleveland, and I'm like, John Levert lives in Cleveland? He's from Cleveland? All right, cool. So I got his number or whatever, and Cleveland's kind of on the way back to New York. You can go that way, but you don't have to, but you can if you want to go there. So I'm like, I'm going to go stop, see John Levert. Fuck it. I don't know what the fuck going on, so I'm just like, go show him some love or whatever. And, cause I was actually on a song Casanova where remix and shit. So I was like,
classic song too, a lot of that.
And the nigga just was like, man, I got there, he got a bowling alley in this house, he got swinging. Oh, John Levert shit was big. I said, I didn't even know you killed him like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna try to get the whole clip. It's all good.
Like John Levert,
my bad, y'all.
You killed him like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm a fan, but I'm like, that shit looking like Michael Jackson house right now. And so he said, Cam, man, you doing your thing down there? I said, yeah, we got the club, we got the, like, you may want to slow down, man. I said, what are you talking about? I'm acting stupid. He's like, look, man, they trying to talk about you, man, and I got some friends that's in law enforcement, and then you need to calm down, bro. You're like, you good now, but you're not gonna be there. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm still acting dumb. Bro, okay, I told you, but come on the tour, because I still wouldn't tell him. I still was acting dumb to him. Bringing up like John Levert, that's...
Yeah, so pretty much, man, that's just is what it is. And don't get twisted though, because even though what's come like see, but more and more men are like inclined. That's the point. Like more men are just inclined to listen to an older man, and this Cam at the end of the day. Cam is wild, even to this day. Is what it is with Cam, but even don't get twisted though, because I remember Fat Joe warning that oh gosh, Tekashi 6ix9ine, he was telling them kind of the same thing, but Tekashi didn't 6ix9ine, of course, after he told and everything, we pretty much did what everybody knew what he was going to do, and then end up where everybody thought he was going to end up and doing after he went to jail, he snitched and told, and pretty much how everybody knew it was going to play out. So don't get twisted. That's because not every time a younger man is going to listen to an older man. That's where the Isaiah 3 comes in and other scriptures as well. But but Mom is saying in nature, more men are inclined to, like, even if it's not a lot of older men with a lot of wisdom. But also too, you can learn what people will like. Even when it says that in Job 32, the age isn't always wise. You can learn from older people, or like what not to do, just by their conduct and how their life turned out. Like, so don't get twisted with that. Certain older people, there's certain things like, that happen. They're not in the best position though, but they still have wisdom to get. But also too, there's certain people, certain them that they just never learn. Like, they say, young fools become old fools. So like, but it is what it is. Now some can turn it around. Some have, a lot have actually, but that's just what it is. But I'm just saying this for the whole thing, of a more like, I know it's like this during my lifetime. This is an observation. More men are inclined to like listen to an older man, like more than women, as we saw with the Aretha Franklin clips. I used this we use this all as a backdrop, like honestly on that, man, because the whole generational warfare. I thought this was something to talk about. Because it's something that happens with our people, with our nation, with our people. It's something that's been happening. Actually, what? This is very key, because why? In 1 Kings 11, after Solomon's fall, this is hearkening and listening to the elders is so important, especially the elders, the ones that we talked about earlier in the video, that have the faith, knowledge, and wisdom and understanding, even outside the word, the elder, because that's how a nation, that's how your people can fall. Because isn't that what happened with us? Isn't that how the kingdom split with Rehoboam? Like, don't get twisted, because naturally, like, younger people, they're more inclined to listen to people their age, because they're going to tell them what they want to hear. But older people are going to tell you what you need to hear. But yeah, man. But that's how the kingdom got split. And shoot, we're dealing with that to impact of that this day. But through Yahushua, through the mercy of the Most High Yahushua, he brought the kingdoms back together. He's bringing the kingdom back together, man. So yeah, man, I just wanted to get into that, man, because yeah, man, it's very, very important, actually, the wisdom of the ancients, man. Very, very important, man, because the whole people can fall. Because actually, that's why our people was in condition of what we are in now, man, because it's just the lack of that, man. Honestly, man, got in both parties, both genders, you got older people don't want to be older people anymore, and you got the younger people we already know what they doing, like Isaiah 3, man. So it is what it is, man. So I just want to talk about this, man. So hopefully this is edifying. So peace.